ready and make a note of all the concepts what I'm going to explain you. I think you're maintaining observation, right? All of you? Not, if not observation, at least in some sheets you have to make a note. Are you all doing it?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone, not only one person. Is everyone maintaining that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So today we'll see the concept of how to interface and 4x4 keyboard, and we have to display the result of the keyboard on an LCD because we have to see which key is been pressed. So that particular value should be reflected onto the LCD screen. So first we'll see the internal architecture of the keyboard. I'll give you the gist of the program, then we'll go through the program. So we'll just see the internal hardware of your 4x4 keypad. Yeah. Can you all see the keypad circuit? Can you all see the keypad circuit?
Yes, ma'am.
Response, please. Okay. So you all can see the keypad. So this is nothing but your columns. These are your columns and this is nothing but your row. Row has been written here. Row 0, row 1, row 2 as well as row 3. It is a 4x4 keypad. So what is the dimension of this particular keypad? The dimension of this keypad is nothing but 4x4. So you'll be having 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's an hexadecimal keypad. So instead of 10, you will be having A, B, C, D, E, and F. So it's a totally, it is nothing but an 4x4 keypad. So whenever any key is being pressed, suppose if I'm going to press it as 6. So 6 comes in which row and which column? 6 comes in which row and which column? 6 comes in which row and which column? If you don't want to speak,
Perfect.
text me. Yes, somebody wanted to answer, you can answer. Yeah, Shabnam, you wanted to answer.
Zeroth row and first column, ma'am.
Zeroth row, we don't, zeroth row, 6. I'm telling number 6. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is coming in which row and which column? It is coming in third row. It is coming in, sorry, it is coming in first row. This is row 1, right? So this is nothing but your sixth key. You're going to press this particular key. It is coming in row 1 and it is coming in your column 2. Correct? This is nothing but your column 2. If you assume this as column 0, column 1, column 2, so 6 comes under your column 2 and row 1. So this is what you people have to detect which particular key is being pressed here. So it comes in, it belongs to which column and which particular row here. So here this columns will be taken as your inputs and row will be taken as your outputs. Please make a note of that. Column will be taken as your inputs and row will be taken as your outputs. Row is your output, column is your input. So you have to set it in the direction of your output as well as your input. So column will be set in the direction of the input and row will be set in the direction of the output. So what should be the values that should appear on the row? You can see that it is connected to a common cathode display, right? This is nothing but common cathode. So this is nothing but your diode. So you can see the anode is connected to your columns and your cathode is connected to your rows. So if you want to turn on the diode here, the value on the column should become 0 and the value on the row should be 1. So please make a note of this also. The value on your column should be 1. The value on the column should be 0 and the value on the row should be 1. The value on the row should be 1. The value on the row should be 1. Have you all made a note of this? Have you all made a note of this? Note it down,
Yes, ma'am.
everyone. I want you people to be interactive. Response. Put a message. First response. I'm waiting for many responses. Okay, columns. The value on the column should be 0. The value on the row should be 1 because row is connected to the diode's cathode and column is connected to your anode part. So that's why the values on the column should become 0 and the values on the row should be 1. Others, quickly. Have you noted down? It is not only 3 people in the class. I want everyone to respond. Quick response. Until you don't respond, I'm not going to proceed. Okay, good, good. Others. Okay, so this is, I think you all have seen the structure of your 4x4 keypad. Now you just see here, your columns is connected to PA0, PA1, PA2 and PA3. Make a note of this. Where is the column being connected to? Column is being connected to PA0, PA1, PA2, PA3. So we'll try to find out where is this PA0, PA1, PA2 and PA3 is to which particular port this PA1, PA0 to PA3 is being connected to. So make a note. So we have columns which is PA0, PA1, PA2 and PA3. And make a note on the other side, row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3. They have not given in the form of PA1 or PB1 or something. Directly they have given us to which particular port this row 0 to row 3 is being connected to. For rows they have given directly which particular port. For column they have given in this particular fashion. We all know how to find out how to find out the value of PA0, PA1, PA2 and PA3. So just try to find out the equivalent port values on this PA0 to PA3. So can you all say me where is PA0 connected to? Where is PA0 connected to? It's here. PA0 is connected to which particular port?
Port 0, pin 15.
Very good. So as I said you, we are dealing with LPC 1768. So we have to pay our attention only to the ports of your LPC 1768, not to the port numbers of your LPC 2148. So port PA0 is connected to port 0 pin number 15. On the similar lines, PA1 is connected to port 0 pin number 16. I'll just highlight it. So make a note of this. So PA0 is connected to port 0 pin number 15, PA1 is connected to port 0 pin number 16 and PA2 is connected to port 0 pin number 17 and PA3 is connected to port 0 pin number 18. It's connected to port 0 pin number 18. Port 0 pin number 18. Noted down all these values PA0 to PA3. PA0 to PA3. It's connected to port 0 pin number 15, port 0 pin number 16, port 0 pin number 17 and port 0 pin number 18. Noted down? Noted down? Done everyone? So we have seen that the columns is being connected to Port 0, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Pin numbers of those ports. So on the same data sheet, you all can see that he has given for the keypad rows, So it is common for both your LPC 2148 as well as for LPC 1768. So row 0 is connected to port 1 pin number 20. It is connected to port 1 pin number 20. Row 1 is connected to port 1 pin number 21. Row 2 is connected to pin port 1 pin number 22 and row 3 is connected to port 1 pin number 23. Port 1, 20, 21, 22 and 23 for the rows. Port 1 pin number 20, 21, 22, 23. Row 0, row 1, row 2 and row 3. Done till here?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you? So we'll
Yes,
proceed
ma'am.
now. Okay, good. I'll stop sharing now. Whatever is required, I'll share. I'll turn on the board now. With the help of the board, I'll explain you the other concepts in detail. Is the board visible? Is the board visible, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can see from here, I have written, just now we have noted down, right? Columns are connected to where? Columns are connected to PA0. PA0 is in turn connected to port 0, pin number 15. PA1 is connected to port 0, pin number 16. PA2 is connected to port 0, pin number 17. And PA3 is connected to port 0, pin number 18. So here we are making use of column. Column is acting as an input here. So I have to set it in the direction of the input. So what I have written here, I will write it here. Port 0, pin number 15. And you will be having port 0, pin number 16, 17, 18. Please write it in this particular fashion. So 18 is will become your most significant and 15 is going to be significant. Correct? So since it is acting as the input, value on the column should become 0. At any given point of time, only one column will be active. Only one column is going to become active, not all the other columns. So how we are activating? We have to place the value 0. We have to place the value as what? We have to place the value as 0 and rest all values will become 1. We are making inactive other columns and we are just going to check one particular column. One column at a time and one row at a time. Not all rows and all columns we are not going to check at the same time. One row, one column, or it can be one column and many different rows. Row 0 you can check, then row 2, row 3 as well as your row 4. Okay. So place the value 0 on port 0 pin number 15, one column at a time. Rest all values will become 1. So 1, 1, 1, 0. We all know that 1, 1, 1, 0 is nothing but 14. 14 in hexa is nothing but E. 14 in hexa is nothing but E. Then place the value. Now I'll be activating the second column. So I make inactive all the other columns and activate your second column. When I activate this, place the value as 1 on port 0 pin number 15, 0 and 16, 1 and 1 on 18 and 17. So read it like this: 1, 1, 0, 1. 1, 1, 0, 1 is nothing but 13. 13 in hexa is nothing but D. 13 in hexa is nothing but D. hexa is nothing but D. Okay. Next, I'll be activating my third column. So rest all columns will become 1. Only my third column will become, the value on the third column is going to become 0. So 1 0 1 1. 1 0 1 1 is but 11. 11 in hexa is nothing but D. 1 0 1 1. Then finally, I'm going to activate the last column. The value on the last column is going to become 0. Rest all values will become 1. So read it. 0, 1, 1, 1. So 0, 1, 1, 1 is nothing but 7. So these are the values for your column EDB7. These are the values for the column EDB7. Any doubts here? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Got it right? One column will be active at any one point. Not all the columns is not going to become active. We cannot press all the keys simultaneously. Even if we press, we cannot read it. So a single column at a time and a single row at a time. So have you noted down all these values? EDB7. So this is how we are going to check particular column is being pressed. I think someone wanted to ask. I could hear somebody's audio was turned on. Who was that?
Me, ma'am.
Want to ask something?
No, ma'am, I told yes.
Okay. Okay, Sania. Done till here? Noted down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On the similar lines, we'll proceed for the rows now. We'll proceed for the rows. Yeah, I think it's visible now. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So directly they have given in the baseboard where to which particular poles your rows is being connected to. We have row 0, row 1, row 2 and row 3. So row 0 is connected to port 1 pin number 20. Row 1 is connected to port 1 pin number 21. Row 2 is connected to port 1 pin number 22 and row 3 is connected to port 1 pin number 23. Port 1 pin number 20, port 1 pin number 21, 22 and 23. So rows, we are setting it in the direction of the output. Columns in the direction of the input. Rows will be connected in the direction of the output here. So that's why I'll start writing from here. Port 1, pin number 20, 21, 22 and 23. So you all have seen from the PCB design that the cathode part of your row diode is connected to row and the anode part of the diode was connected to your column. So that's why in order to activate the column, we are placing the value as 0. For row checking, we have to place the value as 1. We have to place the value as 1. We have to place the value as 1. So first we'll when row 1 any key was being pressed. So row 1 will row 0. We have to check whether any key was being pressed in row 0. So what do? We make it as 1. Rest all values will become what? Rest all values is going to be 0. 1 0 0 0. 1 0 0 because 21 is connected to row 1, 22 is connected to row 2 and 23 is connected to row 3. We are just checking if whether the key has been pressed in row 0. So that's why make this as 1, rest all as 0. Now read it from this direction. 0 0 0 1. So what is 0 0 0 1? 0 0 0 1 is nothing but 1. Now I'll check whether any key was being pressed in row 1. So I'll make this as 1, Rest all row values as 0. So read it. 0, 0, 1, 0. 0, 0, 1, 0 is nothing but 2. 0, 0, 1, 0 is nothing but 2. Okay, on the similar lines, I have to check whether any key has been pressed in row 2. So just activate row 2, inactive all the other rows. So you'll get it as 0, 1, 0, 0, which is nothing but 4. Which is nothing but 4. Then finally, just we have to check whether it is row 3. So place the value as 1 on row 3. Rest all rows value will become 0. 1, 0, 0, 0, which is nothing but 8. Which is nothing but 8. Note it down.
Yes, ma'am.
Note it down, everyone. Okay, done. So this is the concept, how to check which row and which particular column. Now we have to download the defining program. I'm erasing it. Please do remember all these things now. Okay, I'll keep this values. That's all. You all can remember, right? Row is nothing but 1, 2, 4, 8, and column is nothing but E D B7. EDB7. Oh, no, I have other things also. Okay, now see. Now we can check what we can check whether in row 0, if you are in row 0, this is your matrix, right? This is how your 4 cross 4 keypad is going to look like. Row 0, row 1, row 2, and this will be my row 3. Here, I'll take this as column 0, column 1, column 2, and this will be my column 3. So you have to check in row 0 whether it was column 0, whether it was column 1, column 2, column 3. So what are the values you have to pass? For row 0, what is the value we have got? To check whether it is row 0, it is nothing but 1. Now we have to check whether the key was being pressed in column 0, whether the key was being pressed in column 1, whether the key was being pressed in column 2, or whether the key was being pressed in your column 3. In row 0, whether it is column 0, column 1, column 2, or column 3. So what are the values you have to pass? For row 0, row 0 it is 1. So you have to check whether it is 1E, or whether it is 1D, whether it is 1B or 17. Did you get the concept? Did you people get the concept? Did you get the concept? I'm asking you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it right? Not one person respond. I have pressed some key in row 0. It comes in row 0, but I need to identify which particular column, whether it is column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3. So you have to pass on the values like this: 1E, 1D, 1B, 17. Did you people get the concept? Row 0, column 1, row 0, row 0, column 1, row 0, column 2, row 0, column 3. It's like that. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, I need your response, please. Not only one or two people responding, everyone. All the students should respond. Can you say me for row 1 now? If you have understood for row 0, can you say me for row 1? How do we check in row 1? How do we check in row 1? How do we check in row 1? Someone? Can someone respond? How do we identify? I'll assume that the key is present in row 2. I need to identify which particular column. How do you check that? How do you scan it? How do you people scan it? What are the values I need to pass? For row 2, what is the value you have? For row 2, it is nothing but 2. So 2 column the value is not going to change, whether it is 2E, whether it is 2D, 2B or 27. You need to scan this. Row 2, whether the key belongs in column 1, column 0, column 1, column 2 or column 3. Can someone say me for row 2 and row 3 now? Can someone say me the equivalent values for row 2 and row 3? Say me the values for row 2 and row 3. Very good. People have sent me for row 2. Very good. I can see Vali. Yes, yes. Sania, it is not 3. Row 2 means for row 2, what is the equivalent value we have? For row 2, the equivalent value is 4. So it should be what? It should be 4E, 4D, 4B and 47. So for row 3 we have got the equivalent value which is nothing but 4. So it will be 4E, 4D, 4B and 47. And for the last row, row 3 we have got the equivalent value which is nothing but 8. Soumya has put the answer. Others are also putting. I want everyone to put. Very good, very good. See, it means people are understanding. Okay. So row 3, the equivalent value what we have got is nothing but 8. So we have 8 in row 3, whether it is first column, whether the key is in second column, whether the key is in third column, whether the key is in your fourth column. Column 0, column 1, column 2 and column 3. So like this, you need to pass on the values. This is how these are the codes that is used for your scanning. This is the code that is being used for the scanning. In row 1, whether it is column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3. In row 2, whether it is column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3. In row 3, row 2, column 1, 2, column 0, 1, 2 and 3. In row 3, whether it is column 0, column 1, column 2 and column 3. So these are the values. These are the values. Did you get Sania? Sania?
Yes, ma'am.
You had written 3.
Is the screen visible to you people?
Yes, ma'am.
Everything is visible clearly? Okay. So I said you we have to check whether it is row 0 or whether it is row 0, column 0, column 1, column 2 and column 3. And row 1 whether it is column 0, column 1, column 2 and column 3. Similarly, whether it is row 2, column 0, column 1, column 2 and column 3. On the similar lines, we have again it is row 3, column 0, column 1, column 2 and column 3. I think till here I have explained to you people. Now we'll just try to set it in the direction of the output as well as in the direction of the input. Okay. I'll just try to write it on the board. I don't know, my hotspot is not working. I'm unable to connect to the laptop. One second.
Yeah, if I place it like this, I think you all can see it clearly, right? Things are visible, right? So now we'll try to set it in the direction of the input as well as in the direction of the output. Shall I rub this? Shall I rub this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just want someone to display the program after this. Anybody who is using laptop can display the program. Okay, just see here now. So it is connected to port 0. Can you just someone say me where row is being connected to which all particular ports your row is being connected to? Row is connected to which all ports? Row is connected to port 1, pin number 20, 21, 22 and 23. So we need to configure it in the direction of the output. So we'll see the configuration. So we usually write it as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then we had 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Correct, everyone? I think it's visible to you all. I hope so. So now, row, we are setting it in the direction of the output. Correct, everyone? Row is nothing but in the direction of the output. Column is nothing but in the direction of the input. Correct? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now I have to set it in the direction of the output. If I have to set all the spins in the direction of the output, what should be the value on 20, 21, 22 and 23? What should be the value on 20, 21, 22 and 23? If I have to set it in the direction of the output, what should be the value? Already I've taught you all these things.
1.
Very good. The value should be 1. The value on 20, 21, 22 and 23 should be 1. Rest all values on the other pins will become 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Here also it will be 0. Here also it will be 0. So what is the value people need to pass? It will be 0x. Read from here. 0, 0. What is 1111? What is
F.
1111? F.
F.
F. This is 0. 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 So This is how you need to set it. 0x 00f 0 0 0 0. Done? Have you all made a note of this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine, good. Now next column we have to set it in the input direction. Obviously the entire value on that pin should become what? 0. Everything will become 0 because we are setting the column in the direction of the input. If I have to set it in the direction of the input, it is going to become 0. It is going to become 0. Okay. Okay, everyone. So
Yes, ma'am.
if no column is being pressed, the values on, I think column is being connected to port 0 pin number 15, port 0 pin number 16, port 0 pin number 17 and port 0 pin number 18. So this is where the column was being connected to. So if no key is being pressed, the values on these pins will become 1 1 1. 15, 16, 17, 18. If no key is being pressed, the value on all this will become what? The value on all this is going to become 1 1 1. So setting now. We'll just see that setting now. If no key is being pressed, the values on all the pins is going to become high because no direction. We're not going to set it in any direction. If no key has been pressed, so we have to check whether any key has been pressed or not. So if no key has been pressed, the values on this pins 15 will be 1, 16 will be 1, 17 will be 1, 18 will be 1, 19 will become 0. We'll assume that no connection, nothing is being connected. So if no key is being pressed, the values on these pins will become what? The values on these pins is going to become 1 1 1, 15, 16, 17, 18. So what is 100? What is 100? What is 100?
8.
8. And what is 011? What is
7.
011? 7. Correct, everyone? Very good. 011 is nothing but 7. So what is the value we need to check whether any key is being pressed or not, because column is my input here. So I have to check whether any key is being pressed or not. So you're going to AND it with this 0x, this is 0, this is 0, 0, this is 7, this is 8, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. So this is what you need to compare. This is how we will come to know whether any key is being pressed or not. It will scan with 1E, 1D, 1B, 1, 7. It will scan with 2E, 2D, 2B, 2, 7. So we know if key is being pressed in any of these columns, you'll be getting the values like this: 4E, 4D, 4B, and 4, 7. Then it will be 8E, 8D, 8B, 8, 7. If no key has been pressed, the value will be 78. If any one of the keys been pressed, it will show you as 1D or 4B or 8B or something. We know this is the matrix: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. These are the equivalent values. For 0 it is 1E, for 1 it is 1D, for 2 it will become 1B, for 3 it will be 17. If 4 is pressed, you have to get 2E. If 5 is pressed, you have to get it as 2D. If 6 is pressed, you have to get it as 2B. If 7 is pressed, you have to get it as 27. If no key has been pressed, what is the value you'll be generating? You'll be getting the value as 78. You'll be getting the value as 78. And one more important thing I wanted to say you people here is nothing but in keyboard you will be having your LCD display. Shall I wrap this? Have you all noted on this? How we have got it as F and how we have got the value as 78. Noted down? Have you all noted down?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So now, I'll just mute from the laptop. Now, I'll teach you about your LCD concept of LCD. You're able to see the board, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here we are making use of LCD over here. So what type of LCD we are making use of? It is nothing but 16 cross 2 LCD display. It is a liquid crystal display. We all know that we have two different types of display. Either we can have an LED display or we can have an LCD display. The display what we are making use of here is nothing but your LCD display. So it will be having 16 cross 2. 16 cross 2 here is nothing but this indicates your columns and this indicate your row. This indicate your column. 16. You have 16 columns and 2 rows. 16 columns and 2 rows. So I just wanted to show you something here. The commands, what we are making use. See, if I explain you all these things, the concept of the program is going to become easy for you people. Just pin on to the presentation. Pin on to the presentation. Have you all pinned? Have you all pinned?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll turn off. Okay, everybody. I'll turn off the video. It will be better. You people can see it clearly. So these are the commands you can see here. You have, as I said, it will be having your 2 rows and 16 columns. Here we are making use of hex code 80 and C0. These are the hex codes we are making use of because you're going to send 2 messages here. One is nothing but in the first row you're displaying HKBKCE and in the second row you're displaying which key is been pressed. First row, what we are displaying? We are displaying our college name, which is HKBKCE. And in the second row, we'll display which key is being pressed. So that's why we are making use of the 2 commands, AT and C0. So it will force the message to begin in the first line if you make use of AT. If you make use of C0, it will force the cursor position to be start from the second row, whether you want to display it in first row or whether you want to display it in the second row. If you make it as 80, if you give the command line as LCD 8 as 0x80, it will start displaying from the first row. If you give the command as C0, it will start displaying it from the second row. So just make a note of these commands, LCD 80 and LCD C0. 80, it will display the message in first row. If you give C0, it will display the message in the second row. It will display the message in the second row. Clear? Clear, everyone? Is it clear? Note it down. Note it down. Have you noted down? Okay. Okay. Others respond. Only 2 people are responding. Okay, quick. I think I have to wind up by 12 o'clock. You have placement after that. So please keep this in mind. And we are displaying your key pressed in the program. We are displaying the key pressed in second row. Okay. We are displaying the program where we are displaying the key program in second row. Please make a note of this. In the first row, we are going to display it as HK, BK, CE. And in the second row, we are going to give the command pin to the board. All of you pin to the board. We are going to display, we are going to send the message key pressed equal to. It will display here. So here it will display, I'll give the command as CC because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. At 12th position, it will start displaying. 12 in hexa is nothing but what? 12 in hexa is nothing but CC. In the first row, we are going to display HKBKCE. So that's why we'll give the LCD command as 80. In the second row, we'll give the second row, we are going to display which key is being pressed. So key press will appear after this. We are sending the message key pressed is equal to. So it will appear in 12th position. So A is 10, B is 11, C is 12. So to display, we have to give this LCD command as CC. Second row, 12th position. Second row, 12th position. So I have explained the entire concept of the program here. So that's all you people have to check. You have to check first, you have to scan which row, you people have to scan which column, then you need to concatenate. You have to get it side by side, the column value as well as your row value. If I give it as 2E, it means to say that it is second row, first column. Second row, first column, it has to display the key pressed is nothing but equal to 4. It has to display it as the key pressed is nothing but equal to 4. Key press is nothing but equal to 4. And first and foremost thing, you have to check whether any key is being pressed or not. To check, if no key is being pressed, it will return the value as 78. If any key is being pressed, it will scan and it will try to determine which particular row and which particular column. That's all is the gist of your program here. That's all is the gist. I'll run through the program now. I will run through the program. I hope the entire concept is clear. I have explained it precisely. So we'll go through the program now. Yeah. You all can see the program? Can you all see the program?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. If you respond, I feel it's an interactive session. Otherwise, it will be only one-side talk. I don't want it to happen. So this already we all know this. We have come to the 5th experiment. So we all know this is nothing but an header file to pull up all the other files which we required for the program. And this is one more header file what we required since we are making use of your LCD display. So you have to include this header file lcd.h. Now, as I said, we are going to send two messages here, message 1 and message 2, which is nothing but HKBKCE. And in the second row, we are going to display your key pressed. And these all are the characters which we are going to make use of: columns, rows, variable. Here we are making use of flag. Flag means don't think it is a carry flag or zero flag or something. It is just an character which we are making use to check whether earlier any key is being pressed. If any key is being pressed, it is not going to scan. Well, if this flag value is 0, then only it will start scanning. It will just check. Like in the DC motor, we used to turn off the DC motor and then we used to again turn on. Here also will turn off, then we'll try to scan which key is being pressed here. So that's why we are going to make use of your flag, key and your pointer. Then again we have unsigned long integer variables I, variable 1, temp1 and temp3. temp1 and temp3. So these temporary registers are basically used to find out to place the values of your rows as well as your columns, and that value will be pushed on to the variable. That value will be pushed on to the variable. So this scan code already I have taught you. Any doubts here? Any doubts here? Scan code already we have returned, right? 0x1e, row 1, column 0, row 1, column 1, row 1, column 2, row 1, column 3. Similarly, row 2, row 3, as well as your row 3. Row 0, row 1, row 2, and row 3. Then this is nothing but your 4 cross 4 keypad. We have to get the equivalent ASCII value of that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. Correct? I hope there is no doubt till there, till that point. Till that point, there should not be any doubt. Okay. So here, why we are making use of pin select tree? Can someone say me? Why we are making use of pin select tree? Can someone respond? Can someone respond? Why
We are using port 1.
we are making use of port 1? Port 1, pin number 20, 21, 22, and 23. Good. So since we are making use of port 1, pin number 20, 21, 22, and 23, so that's why we are making use of your pin select 3. 0 and 1, pin select 0 and 1 is going to have port 0, pin 1 and 2 will be having port 1. Port 1, 0 to 15 will be in pin select 2, and 16 to 31 will be in pin select 3. So that's why we are making use of your pin select 3. And similarly, we have for rows, we are making use of port 0, pin number 15 to 18. So we know that 0 to 15 will come in pin select 0, and we have port pin number 16 to 18 will come in your pin select 1. So that's why we have all this. We are going to configure your pin select 3, pin select 0, and pin select 1. I think last time I told you people to write the table and keep it ready, because just seeing the pin numbers, we have to say appropriately which particular pin select we are going to make use of. And you are going to set your columns in the direction of the input. So that's why every value will become 0 there. Thus, every value means that specific pin values. Pin number 15 to 16, 15 to 18 is going to become 0. So rows we are going to set it in the direction of output. Already I have shown you how we have got the value as F over there. I have shown you how we are getting the value as F. Column in the direction of the input, rows in the direction of the output. Rows in the direction of the output. So you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful for 15 to 16, and row is connected to port 1. So you have to choose an appropriate GPIO, whether it is GPIO 0 or whether it is GPIO 1. For column it will be port 0, for rows it will be port 1. So that's why we have variation here. GPIO 0 in the direction of input, GPIO 1 in the direction of the output. So this value is nothing but F. All these things I have taught you. Next, this is nothing but your LCD initialization part. So already I have said, so this is 80, which is going to point to the command, and this is nothing but C0, which is going to which is going to point to the second line, second row of your LCD. This will point to the first line, this will point to the second line. So we have to display the message See the LCT underscore puts message 1. What is the message 1 you have? HKBKCE. Message 2 is nothing but key pressed. Message 2 is nothing but key press. This is the command that is used for displaying of your message. LCD underscore puts. Okay. Then we'll move further. So while it is true, so we just have only four. So that's why we are giving for loop comma row less than 5, row plus plus. We are not giving less than or equal to 4 or row less than 5. If row equal to 1, what is the value we have got? That 1. If row equal to 2, this is the second row, the value is nothing but 2. This also I have shown you. If row equal to 3, we get the value as 4. And if it is a 4, we get the value as equal to 8. Any doubts? How we have got it as 1, 2, 4 and 8? Any doubts? Any doubts?
No,
Any
ma'am.
doubts? No, right? We know that, right? How we have got it as 1, 2, 4 and 8. 1, 2, 4 and 8. So that's all it is. This is for your row check. So we are going to pass on the values in your variable 1. You are going to check whether it is row 0, row 1, row 2 or row 3. You are going to set it in the direction of the output. Then you are going to clear it. See, that is what I said. Flag is just a variable. Don't confuse it with the other flags what you have, like your zero, carry, overflow, and all those things. Here it is just a variable to check whether any key has been pressed or not. So if the value of flag is 0, that means no key has been pressed. If the value of your flag is 1, it is nothing but key is been pressed. The key has been pressed previously. This is to check previously any key has been pressed or not. So we'll assume that some key is being pressed. We need to scan and we need to find out over there. If previously any key has been pressed, it will not enter to the scan value. It will not enter the scan. Before explaining that, we have to see here. Where is this scan going to do? When you give scan, it will come here. When you give scan, it will not go here. I'll explain, I'll come back when it will come to this particular loop. When you people give scan, if flag is 0, scan, it will come here. It will come to this particular void. So we are designing one unsigned long time tree. So what are the value we are passing? We are passing on your GPIO 0, FIO pin value here. So we know that if any key is being pressed here, so it will have its respective value here. Column value. Column is nothing but my input here. So I'm going to check temp3 and equal to 0x0078. If any key is being pressed, you know that AND operation, well, if all the pin values are high, you will get back this value. Otherwise, you'll not get back this particular value. Here, you're going to check whether any key is being pressed or not. You're comparing this, the value of your temp3 and the value. If no key has been pressed, the value is 78. If the key has been pressed, what it is going to do? It has to scan and it has to find out. It has to scan and what it has to do? It has to find out. So it will go back here. Now it will start scanning. So it has to scan 4 cross 4 matrix it is. So you'll be having 16. For I equal to 0, I less than 16, I plus plus. If key equal to scan code of I, you have to scan it. So what is the value you'll be getting? You'll be getting the ASCII equivalent. Whether if it is 0, you'll get the ASCII equivalent value of 0 and it will display 0. If it is 1, in the key, you will be storing the ASCII equivalent of 1 and it will be displaying. So this is mainly for the display purpose. You have to scan, you have to send the scan code. The scan code will be sent from here, from this loop. See here. This is, you're going to scan here. These are the 2 times This temp3 is for the columns, and this temp is nothing but for your rows. Then you're going to concatenate. You're going to concatenate it, and you'll be coming to this loop. This loop you people will be coming. You've got the key here. You have got the key from there. So key will be equal to scan code of I. You will be displaying the equivalent as key value, and here you will display here. See here, temp1 equal to CC. It will display in second row, 12th position. So this is for the display purpose. LCD underscore puts and key. Whatever the key value you have got, it will display here when you give this command. So where it is going to display? In second row, 12th position. So this is the loop. This is the loop where it is going to scan. Where it is going to scan. Where it is going to scan, and it is going to concatenate. And it is going to concatenate. See, temp was having your row value. See, temp will be having which value? Temp will be having your row value. Whether it is row 0. See here we are checking whether it is row 1, then the value in variable 1 will be 1. If it is row 2, the value in variable 2 will be 2. If it is row 3, the value will be 4. If it is row 4, the value will be 4. So the row value you have stored here. Now you have to check which particular column. For column, you're doing this. If for column, you're doing this. So if temp is not equal to this value, you need to find out which particular column it is. Whether it is E, whether it is D, whether it is B, or whether it is 7. That is what you're going to check here. And then finally you're going to concatenate it. You're going to concatenate. Temp will have your column value, and temp3 will be having column value, and temp will be having your row value. Okay, so why this loops here? Why you're left shifting here? Why you're left shifting here? Because first it will display LSB, then it comes your MSB. That's why you're performing your shift operation. It will be left shift by 15 bits, and this is nothing but left shift by 16 bits. Row you're going to shift it by 16 bits, and columns you're going to shift it by 15 bits. So first it will display row, then it will display your column. First row, then column. It will concatenate like this. Or of that. Or of temp3 as well as your temp. First row, then column. That's all is your program. That's all is your program. This loop completely to check which column is being pressed, and for row it is there on the top. So here once you have got the key value, you have to display the ASCII equivalent of that. So for the ASCII equivalent, you're coming to this particular loop. You'd have got some 2e or something. What is the value in 2e? So that will be given by this ASCII code. So it will not know what is 2e, what is 1e, what is 2d, and all those things. From here you will be getting the ASCII code. If it is 2e, can someone say me what is 2e? 2e means the key value is equal to 4. From here you will get the key value, and it will display here. The scan code will be that, whether it is first row, 1E, 1B, 1D, or 17, or whether it is 2E, 2D, 2B, 27, whether it is 4E, 4B, 4D, or 47. So that you will get here. You have to get the equivalent value of that, whether it is 0, 1, 2, 3. So that will be done with this. And it will display here. It will display here. Any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
I want everyone to respond, not only one or two people. Any doubts, anyone? I've taught you how we have got the value of 78. If no column has been pressed, we get the value of 78. That's why you're comparing whether temp3 is not equal to 0x0078. So here there is a not, right? If you come down here, you're checking here. if temp3 is not equal to 0x0007800. That means we need to identify which particular column. Okay. It will give you the column value, which particular column has been pressed. I can see hardly few response. Only 2 people have responded. Others have not understood. Others have not understood.
Ma'am, if scan